I want I want everybody to know that I'm going through a bad divorce to a woman that I loved very much, and got married 2001, December 8th, Las Vegas, Nevada, 9:45 p.m. I was accused of a crime that I did not commit. But before I get into that, I want to say this here. Okay. On January, I'm going to read y'all the police report, and you'll see where I'm going with this. And if you have any comments or anything, you can please email me at malillo2005@aol.com. But we're going to talk about deceive, lies, betrayal, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit attempted murder on me. Okay. So then I'm going to get to the sheriff's department in Fairhope, Minnesota. How Officer Keith conspiracied with my wife to try to find something on me, to file charges on me so she wouldn't be charged with attempted murder, which she was supposed to have been charged with. First, we're going to get to all of that. First thing is this here. I married my wife, Margaret, Malillo. She has so many different maiden names. She goes by Margaret Kniff, Margaret Kniff, Peggy Kniff. All right, so anyway, she got sick in Minnesota as she was working for Babies R Us. And it's going down on about 2 years now since Toys R Us closed down. It's going on about 2 years now. And today's date is June 16th, 2020. So when she got sick, I rushed her to the hospital because she couldn't breathe. And the doctor came down and informed me that your wife has HIV. And I'm like, well, what the hell is HIV? She has AIDS. Whoa, I passed out, you know? And I'm like, what the hell? Well, how long you been married? Since 2001, December 8th. I told the doctor, well, you need to be tested. When was the last time y'all had sex? We had sex the night before she got sick. So anyway, make a long story short, she was in the hospital for a while, going on like 3 weeks until she got better. We started talking. Then she tells me about her whole life. I met her in California where she told me she was from. Okay, listen carefully, people. Listen carefully. I met my wife in California where she told me she was from. Weston and 3rd at Gin Shell gas station. She came in there. First time I met her was July 26. Okay, 2001 was the first time I ever put my eyes on my wife. She was taking a bus. All right. It was in the evening, about 6:47. She came in there. She brought a pack of Marlboro Reds and a Pepsi. We started talking. There was a book that she had that I remember I read, you know, psychologists and stuff. All right. And listen carefully what I'm saying. Okay. We talked for a while and it just hit me. You know, I told her, I said, oh my God, you're going to be my wife. Oh my God, you're going to be my wife. It freaked her out. I guess it freaked anybody out, you know? So I didn't see her no more until after 9/11. And I remember that day, you know, that was the worst day of my life. I lost a lot of friends back home in New York, family members, and New York's finest. New York got the finest police officers. They go by, some go by the book, some don't. You got some dirty cops, you got some bad cops. Let's get that cleared now. You got some dirty cops, you got bad cops. Get rid of the dirty cops and the dirty sheriffs, you have a good system. with no filing lawsuits, no nothing. So let's get that cleared right now. And you got some New York cops that are the best cops out there. They are the best. They go by the book. You can't bribe some of them. Okay, so let's get that cleared right now. So I don't see her again until after 9/11, which was October 17th, 2001. She got kicked out where she was staying at with some guys and everything. She's telling me the whole truth, in the hospital when she got sick in Minnesota about she was selling drugs for them. She shortchanged them and everything else. And yes, she was also selling marijuana at the Beverly Center where she worked for Bloomingdale's because her manager, I used to take her to her manager's house and they used to smoke all the time. And I got tired. I said, look, I don't mess with drugs. I don't drink. It's either me or your drugs and your alcohol. Point blank. So she stopped it. Okay, she stopped it. She stopped taking pills. She stopped all that. All right, cool. I was proud of that. All right. So when she got sick, like I said, in Minnesota in the hospital, her whole truth comes out. She's originally from Minnesota, St. Paul. She was a prostitute. Her pimp was Damian Walker. Okay. He ran girls from like 17, et cetera, et cetera. She picked them up for him and stuff like that. And I'm listening to all of this and I'm like, wow. She ran drugs from Minnesota to a place called Wisconsin, which I still don't know where the hell that's at. Okay. Back and forth. She got busted going to Wisconsin speeding, coming back from Wisconsin speeding. So she took the officer out to dinner or something. She still got the officer's cards. That's what really trips me out. Now, this guy, Damien, beat the hell out of her. She has pictures where he beat the mess out of her. You couldn't even tell she was Korean. Her eyes were shut so bad. I'm like, why do you keep these pictures? Okay. I don't understand that. Get rid of these pictures. All right. But she never respected what I had to say. So now we get to more of a good part. Her adopted mother kicked her out because she was dating a black guy. She got pregnant. So he has no say-so. She went online, looked for somebody to adopt her kid in California. Now, he got no say-so in the state of California. He has no say-so, okay? That's the quick way to get rid of his kid, point blank, all right? So he has no say-so, all right? Now, mind you, all of this is being told to me while she's in the hospital feeling a little bit better as she got sick in Minnesota. So I'm still waiting for the punchline for her to come. Then it finally comes before I can even ask the question. And she goes, I got AIDS now, don't you? I said, yeah. Stage 3. I said, yeah. When was you going to tell me this? You violated me. You put my life in danger. When was you going to tell me this? Okay? If I had it, I would be in jail for the rest of my life. But it's okay for a woman to give it to a man. It's okay. The CDC says it's okay. The law says it's okay. Everybody says it's okay for a woman to give a person AIDS. But if a man does it, you go to jail. Now, we're going to get to the rest of this part. So she throws in my face, I'm damaged goods. You wouldn't have married me. No, I wouldn't have married you. You're right. I would not have married you. I wouldn't even want to be nowhere near you. That is my right. As a human being and living on this earth. That is my right. So then she always throws in my face when she gets in an argument with me. He broke me. He broke me. No human being breaks nobody. I've been through hell and back in my life. I lost everyone in my family. I never had an opportunity to sit down and cry for my family because I'm dealing with her. So, make it short. I'm like, you don't break a human being, you break an animal. All right, point blank. Right now, I'm in hiding because I don't trust her. Okay? She's a liar. She's a conniving woman. All right? Now, we're going to get to this other part now. November, I asked for a divorce. And the reason why I asked for a divorce in 2019 is because I'm tired of her telling me that she was in an institution in Minnesota. She always tried to kill herself and everything. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of her trying to cut herself. She did this to me in 2017. She almost cut my whole wrist, my whole arm off. She said, please don't call the police. I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I know how to heal myself. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just calm down. So I don't see my wife in the end of December. She takes off. She gets hooked up back with Barney's wife, Sue. All right. Which misery loves company. Okay. Number one. But I want to say this. If there was any type of love in our marriage, she would not listen to everybody else. If there was any love in our marriage or respect, she would never listen to no one else. Okay? That's number one. Number two, she's a very unappreciative person. Okay? She lost the best thing that ever happened to her. I took good care of my wife. As much as I could, I took good care of my wife. Everybody argues in a relationship. And if you say you don't, you're a damn liar. Everybody argues in a relationship. That's because of care and love. Now, she started drinking. I find drugs in the car. She hit the Chevy on the side of the garage and the trash can. I had to replace that part. All right? Now, this is where the funny part comes in. She's texting these guys all the time. Okay? I'm not a jealous man at all. Because if I was a jealous man, she wouldn't have talked to me having a threesome with her and some guy. Now, mind you, this is before I found out she had AIDS. So now I'm trying to track down dude for him to be tested. I got to get tested now every 3 months. But this is the cold part. Listen carefully. All right? We get in little arguments and stuff. On January 6th. By the way, before we got to Faribault, we used to live on 8th Street until we could find a place to live, right? House. She threw my leg out the window. She assaulted me, got witnesses. All of these witnesses that seen how abusive she was towards me. But nobody's listening to me or talking to my witnesses. Nobody. Okay? Then on January 6th, 2020, she tries to kill me again. She beat the hell out of me. Not once have I ever hit my wife. Not once. She has tried to stab me on January 6th. She bust my lip open. She choked the hell out of me as she's coming down with the knife. I'm bleeding. I rushed myself to Health Partners. That was the only place I knew how to get to. Police report was made at Apple Valley Police Department. Okay? Domestic abuse on husband. Police report was made. The report was made when she's yelling at me. I want you to catch AIDS like me and die, you MF, you crippled bastard, you burnt piece of chicken. That's all she's yelling at me. I want you to catch AIDS and die just like me. That's what she's yelling at me. That's what I tell him. So the officers asked me, do you know if she's out there? I don't know where she's at. So they put out a APB out on our other car, to look for her ass, to lock her up. Then they say, oh, you're in the sheriff's jurisdiction. So we're going to send everything over to the sheriff's department. Okay? And right here, it says where they contacted the sheriff 6 times and they would not respond. No deputy would come to Apple Valley to take the domestic abuse assault on me. That was attempted murder she tried to do on me. She violated her disclosure laws in the state of Minnesota where she was supposed to tell me and everything. She intentionally tried to give me AIDS It goes by their behaviors and their actions. And she intentionally tried to give me AIDS. So, Apple Valley Police Department telling me to contact the sheriff. I contact the sheriff on the 7th. Named Keith. He puts all this crazy stuff in his report. All this crazy stuff. How are you going to ask a person if they spit on you? Now, if I spit on a cop, that's assault. If I spit on a cop and I got AIDS, that's attempted murder. So why she spits in my face, gets in my eyes and everything. I got blood in my mouth from her hands. Her hands were bleeding. I got to take this medicine that's killing me. Losing weight, kidneys going bad, supposed to be helping you to stop getting AIDS, but it's killing me. And this is cruel and unusual punishment that she put me through, but not one charge was filed against her. So this is what Keith does from the Sheriff's Department in Faribault. I tell you what, you give me everything you got on your husband, and we'll build a case on him. If that's not conspiracy, I don't know what is. To intentionally try to file false charges on me for a crime I've never committed. So she sends her text messages, and each text message in there, there's nothing wrong that I said. I could barely text, number one, because I could barely see the numbers on the thing, okay? But I told her, once I found out what the law was in the state of Minnesota, you better stop hitting me and trying to kill me. Okay, because what you're doing is wrong. You committed attempted murder on me. You coming home.
I'm still learning.
You coming home every day from work, bleeding all over the place. Bleeding. I got to deal with you drinking alcohol again. I got to deal with you drinking, messing with drugs again. I got to deal with you trying to kill yourself again. From December all the way until January, February, she tried to kill herself in the house. Bust her head in the wall and everything else. She had to take a couple of days off so the wounds could heal. Not once have I ever hurt my wife. I was there for her 1,000%. Not once. So they got text messages between themselves trying to set me up so she doesn't be charged with attempted murder all my life, which she's supposed to have been charged. But again, if I had AIDS, I did not disclose it to her, I'd be in jail and charged. And it's unfair. It's very, very unfair. Very unfair. So then, everything cool. I stay away from her. She stays in the bedroom. I don't go nowhere near. May 7th, 2020. I got to pick her up. The Nissan's being worked on, which this whole marriage is about one thing, the car. She came into marriage with nothing. I gave her my word. You'll never be on the bus again. And I kept my word to my wife. I kept my word to my wife. 1,000%. I kept my word to my wife. I treated her like she was supposed to be treated. Like a queen, a princess, a woman, a lady. Then she say I'm jealous. I used to buy her clothes. I don't care if a man whistle at my wife. I'm proud of that. A jealous person is a dirty person. Always say that. A jealous person is a dirty person. But now, here we go to May 7th. Drop her home. I said, you hungry? She goes, no. She just got to pick something up at Walgreens. We stopped at Walgreens. Okay. Nissan's being worked on. I said, well, it's going to be ready Friday because I wanted to take the Chevy to New York. I want to go to the grave, put some flowers down, and pay my respects. I had it all planned to drive to New York and then go to California. I had it all planned. May 7th, this is when all hell broke loose again. All right. I go wash the car. First, I take $200 cash out to pay the guy, Mike, for fixing the bottom of the car with the rust and stuff. Okay. He charged me $400. All right. About 8:15, come home. Let's say 8:10, 8:15, come home, right? Coming in the front door, bandits on the step. He's making all this noise. Ooh, pat him aside, bandit. It's impossible you didn't hear me opening up that door. It's impossible. I got that on the phone too. I got pictures on my phone where she assaulted me on January 6th. Got the marks on my neck. Half black eye. It works. Not one thing ever happened to her. Okay? So, May 7th, walk in the door. I hear this noise. Oh, thanks, babe, for the money you sent me. What did you tell your husband? Oh, I told that idiot I was sending it to my daughter. Wow, I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm an idiot. What, do you need more money? I'll send you more money. What you gonna tell him this time? Listen carefully. What you gonna tell him this time? Oh, I just got to buy supplies for AutoZone. Wait a minute, that's what she told me before. And they'll reimburse me. I'll just tell them that. That's what she told me before. During the epidemic of the COVID-19. She had me running around getting masks and gloves and disinfected, and she's giving our money to some guy. I'm not mad yet. She's laying in the middle of the bed with the negligee on that I bought her, a dildo between her legs, and a sex movie on TV with no sound. She heard me come in the door, through the front door. She heard me. She heard me. So the guy goes, what you got on? You want to see? She got her phone in her right hand. This is when I walk in. And I hear the guy's voice. Wow, you look fine. That's when I walk in the bedroom. What the hell are you doing? She jumps up in the middle of the bed, sits up in the middle of the bed, sits up with her phone in her right hand, down on her right leg. And I'm looking, I'm like, who the fuck is that? It looked just like Johan. That's what I thought it was at first. It looked just like Johan. Okay, this guy Johan that I know. All right. And I'm like, who the hell are you? He hangs up quick. I'm like, you know what? The divorce is guaranteed. I walk out the door, out of the bedroom door, to the left to get out the house. I hear this thump. She comes up behind me, pulls my ponytail, hits my head up against the bar right there that I grab on because I know she's going to try to throw me down the stairs again. I know this. Punching me, smacking me, scratching me. The works. The works, okay? Beating the hell out of me. I take off. I want her to calm down like always. I take the car, our Chevy, get in the car, I drive. I go northbound, I go southbound on 3, just driving, let her cool down. She's calling me, I'm ignoring her calls. She called me every dirty name in the book. Every dirty name in the book again. Then she goes, well, like I told you before, if you don't bring the car back, I'm going to call the police and say you assaulted me. And I'm like, lies again. Now, check this out. On 3/4/2020 at 10:30, she told me the same thing. And I text her back. How you going to say you're going to put a restraining order out on me? What law did I break? All I have to say is that you assaulted me. The cops believe us women in Minnesota before they believe you men. I'm like, oh my God, is she serious? Damn enough, sure, she was serious on May 7th, 2020. So I said, look, I need my medicine. I'm hurting. You hurt me bad. You kicked my good leg real bad where I could barely stand. I go home. I said, let me just get my medicine. Okay. And some Tylenol. I go home. She pours out my medicine and Tylenol on the floor in the house. I'm like, you know what? I am so tired of you hitting me, abusing me, and trying to kill me. I'm fed up with this. Keep your hands to yourself. I have never put my hands on you in 18 years of marriage. Never. Boom. She was on the phone with someone. Listen carefully. She was on the phone with someone. I do not know that she was on the phone with the sheriff's department until I leave. I said, the hell with this. So I'm pulling out of the driveway, going northbound on 3. I see this car coming down with no lights on, going like this with no lights on. I pull over to the right or the side of the road. I got my blink on. Once the car passed me, I put my blink on to pull out. Car pulls up behind me, bam. Lights go on me. Lady officer pulls up behind me and says, hey, Keith, what's going on? I'm tired of my wife hitting me. I'm tired of the abuse. I'm tired of her trying to kill me all the time. Nobody's listening to me, okay? She tried to kill me on January, and nobody done a damn thing about it. She was supposed to have been charged with attempted murder. And by the way, when she was gone in January, she calls me and tells me, don't talk to the sheriffs no more. I'm going to get my ass whipped again. Then she calls me drunk, where she told me she was at Motel 8, somewhere near her job, okay? So I had to go and get the Chevy back because it's financed. I know how she is when she starts drinking and driving. And when she starts talking about she wants to run into other cars and kill other people, no, you ain't doing it with the car that we financed. That's not happening. Because we got to pay regardless. So listening to everybody else, she says, well, the insurance will pay for it. No, the insurance ain't going to pay for a doggone thing when they find out you was drunk and driving. But she listened to everybody else. She listened to what everybody else got to say. Okay? Then I control her. I don't control nobody. Nobody. I never controlled nobody in my life. Then I control the money. I don't control the money. I just pay all the bills. You buy what you want to buy. I don't control nothing. But all of this is lies. Then she says she's been abused for 18 years. That right there shocked me. Those organizations that are out need to be shut the hell down. Because I know there's men out there that's been accused of this that they wasn't even guilty of. And this stuff got to stop. This stuff got to stop. Okay, back to May 7th. So anyway, the deputy says, oh, wait a minute. She goes to the radio. Oh, she got a scratch. I have no nails. Never had long nails in my life, down to the skin. I have no nails. She comes home with bruises. She comes home with scratches. All the time. So now, this is where the good part goes. I got robbed by a badge. Listen carefully, and ain't no mistake. And this is my freedom of speech. I have a right to say what I want to say and tell the truth. I got robbed by a sheriff with a badge. Strong arm robbery. She's outside with the sheriffs. Give me his wallet. I had $200 cash that I drawed from the bank. That was stolen. My credit cards were stolen. My car keys to the Chevy 2017 Chevy Sonic was taken from me. And I'm arguing with the sheriff. You can't do that. If you're going to lock me up, my property got to go with me. His exact words was, quote, unquote, it's marital property. That's right. The judge makes that decision. You are not the judge or the jury. And his words to me is, he's the judge. Just like Sheriff Keith, he's the judge and the prosecutor. That's why charges of attempted murder on my life intentionally trying to infect me with AIDS on January 6th, my wife was not charged because they tried to get something on me. But I have not broken no laws. I have not broken any laws whatsoever. So they take me to the hospital, handcuff me. Yeah, I'm beat the hell up. I can't stand on my good leg. I say grab my glasses because I have my contacts in because she broke my glasses before. I get a restraining order. She gets a restraining order. But before we get to that part, they held me down in cuffs, saying I'm under arrest for spousal abuse. Then they bring up this phony charge on me. Never hit no woman in my life. Never hurt my wife in 18 years. I've been there for her 1,000%. Never hurt my. Everybody that knows us know I was good to my wife. But now she got people against me because of her word. She's a lying, conniving, no good woman. Now, I get cut loose at 12:22 a.m. in the morning. No charges of being filed on me. So I was kidnapped, strong arm robbery by a sheriff that took my property, snatched my property out of my wallet, and he snatches my hat real violently off my head where I got pain in my neck. But that's okay, though. That's an assault while I was cuffed, okay? Then I get home. I had to call for a ride. I get to the house cleared out, completely cleared out. She took every bit of things that belonged to her. The sheriffs helped her move out of the house. So she uses the law so she doesn't have to finish paying the other half of the rent to get away with this of spousal abuse. She was never abused. She couldn't even pass a polygraph test on that. She was never abused by me. I tell her, stop taking it out on me. I'm the one that loves you. Go after the people that gave you AIDS, not me. But you are wrong when you tell me you want me to catch AIDS like you, and you beating my ass on January 6th, and I'm bleeding, and you're bleeding while you're punching me in my mouth, putting your hands in my face with blood on your hands from your bandages and spitting in my eyes and in my mouth. And you scratched me. I have pictures of all the wounds. Apple Valley Police Department took a police report. So this punk sheriff, no wound seen, no evidence, because he wrote what he wanted to write. Apple Valley Police Department contacted the sheriff 6 times. They refused to send a deputy to do the report on January 6th. They refused. The Apple Valley Police. They refused to send a sheriff. But my wife, Margaret Me Malillo, Kniff, and Deputy Keith tried to conspiracy to put charges on me. Now, she went May 8th, cleaned out every dime, took every penny, took my SSI, took the taxes, state, federal, took the stimulus check. She left me with no money in the account. She took it all. She left me $11.43. The rest of the things in the house, I had to get rid of to get food for her cat, which she said killed the cat. Her cat, Lulu, Well, she said, kill the cat. She don't want the cat. All of this behind a lie. And she jeopardized my life. And not a damn thing happens to this woman. Nothing. She was supposed to have been charged in the state of Minnesota for attempted murder on my life, for intentionally, knowingly trying to infect me with AIDS. But nothing happened to her. Nothing happened to her. She got over $7,000 in her new account that she ripped us off with my money too. And she gets free legal advice. It's wrong. And it's hard for me to get an attorney. When there's a federal lawsuit out here, you violated my constitutional rights. Okay? First words come out of your mouth is the word I hate. All right? The word I find is very, very unfair, which she loves to call me, but yet also she can't stand black people, but yet she sleeps around with them. And that's how this big argument started on January 6th, when she said she was sleeping around. And I said, well, I hope you told them you got AIDS, because she never told me. The hospital told me. That's when she attacked the hell out of me, man. I'm still hurting. I went from 165 pounds to 110 pounds I am right now. Without my legs on, I'm about 95 pounds to 102 pounds because of the medicine that they had me on to prevent me, quote unquote, from getting AIDS. And I got to go every 3 months to be tested. And I'm terrified of needles. I don't drink. I don't mess with drugs. Never did, never will. And it's wrong. It's cold that she can get away with trying to kill me, trying to infect me with AIDS, and nobody cares about what I have to say. But they try to set me up with a charge. And I'm still waiting on this domestic violence charge to come, because it'll all be set out in court. It'll all be set out in court. You know, I've never, and there's not one witness that she could bring that can say that I ever hit her. I asked, I said, why don't we go to marriage counsel to find out what's going on? She tells me it's not me, it's her. And I asked her, how many people you done this to? She done to every person she's been with. She put out restraining orders, she told me, on a lot of people in California and in Minnesota under her maiden name. She got so many names, you know. It's not even funny, you know. So I say, okay, well, let's find a shrink. Let's find a marriage counselor. I find one, they take our insurance, and she doesn't want to go. It hurts because I love my wife so dearly. I'll give my life for my wife. I stood by my wife 1,000%. When she tried to kill herself, when she was down and everything. And her family, I don't know her family. First day I met her mom is when she told me to call her mom and let her know she was in the hospital. And I did. And the first thing her mama says, oh, she married a nigga. I'm like, whoa, lady, whoa, back up here. Whoa, time out. I'm not nobody's nigga. That I'm not. You know. Well, the doctor said I got to see you because you're her husband. Okay, that's right. I'm her husband. And I'm going to make sure nothing else happened to my wife's. Nothing else happened to my wife. But yes, she needed masks. I asked the nurse to get a mask because she had open heart surgery. Only time I seen her mother. So she says, I don't even let her see her family. She don't even want to see her family. I always tell her, call your mom, call your sister. You know? She lies so good where these idiots believe her. But now it's time for me to stop being a victim and fight back. You see, because I got a right to file a lawsuit in federal court against Keith, deputy in Faribault, and my wife for conspiracy, for intentionally trying to give me AIDS, attempted murder charges. So I'll get her for a couple of mil. And I'll get the sheriff's department for a couple of mil on that there. And the other deputies, which, by the way, I was denied the videos and the camcorders where you see on May 7th, the deputy is telling me, quote, unquote, it's marital property and I'm the judge and the jury. And I'm like, no, that's the judge's decision. That's not your decision. So whatever judge I go in front of, listen carefully, that deputy made the decision for you, which he had no right by law. Because if I'm being arrested, my property was supposed to go with me. With me, not to my wife, for them to take my money out, credit cards, and both car keys. And all the stuff she's saying is a bunch of lie. Never followed my wife. She's never washed a car in one time in 18 years of marriage. She has never washed a car. I made sure our cars were running good. She has never washed a car. All she know how to do is lie and abuse me. I was the abused person. And I know it's hard for a man to say that. And it's scary. But yes, she abused me. She has tried to kill me. She has assaulted me. She has threw me down the stairs. She has threw my legs out the window. She has left me stranded. She has abused me, and I have witnesses. A whole lot of witnesses. So this is all going to backfire in her face, you know. And yes, again, I got strong arm robbery with a badge, a deputy with a badge, because my wallet, my car keys would be in my possession. All this marriage was is so she can get the Chevy Sonic 2017. That's all this was, because she never had nothing in this marriage. She came in this marriage with no car. And she should not have a right to have a car. Let her take a bus. And for the last time, how can you turn around and let her violate the law of attempted murder on me by intentionally trying to give me AIDS like she said she wanted to do? Instead, you try to build a case on me where there's no case. Where there's no case. She lied in a restraining order. I didn't. I had proof. The police department was made in Apple Valley. Apple Valley contacted the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department refused to do anything. They tried to contact them 6 times in their police report. She told me back on 3/4/2020 that she knows how to get rid of me by saying I assaulted her, by putting a restraining order out on me so she can get the car. All my wife is a liar. Am I terrified of her? Yes, I'm very terrified of her, not only for me, but for the other guys out there. She needs to be locked up where she belongs, because she talks her way out of stuff so good. I remember she told me how every time her mother put her in an asylum in Minnesota, a mental place, she knows how to get out of it because she knows how to talk to the doctors. She knows what they want to hear. She knows what they want to hear. And that's cold when a woman says that. That is cold when a woman lies on a legal document that says under perjury and not a damn thing happens to them. Not a damn thing happens to them. But now I got to fight for my life. I have to fight for my freedom. I have to fight for my honor, because I was accused of a crime I've never committed to my wife. First of all, you have to be an idiot to turn around, know your wife has HIV, and you scratch her or anything. You got to be an idiot, and I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot at all. I kept the place safe for her so she wouldn't hurt herself. When she started using the knives again and tried to cut herself, I hid the knives. Had gloves all over the place and emergency kits all over the place. In the cars, in both cars, in the house. You go anywhere in that house. Emergency kits, gloves. First aid kits. First aid kits, gloves. Knives, steak knives were hidden. If she wanted, we had steak, I would cut it up for her. Because I don't trust her with knives at all. And then I was told by an expert a couple of weeks ago, how does your wife try to kill herself? She goes like this. She'll go on her wrist and she'll take the knife and go across it where it's scraped and it looks like blood's coming up. And then I try to get the knife from her. That's what happened here in 2017 when she cut my arm. And I turn around and you'll see like blood coming up. And then I'm like, man. And then she'll pop them and blood everywhere. And I turn around, I get them, I clean her up. Like, you just lay down. I'll make you some tea, you lay down. And then she'll cry and everything and all of this. But she always says to me, it's not me, it's her. But yet, she used to be on medication and then she stopped. And then she falls back into this category since December 2019, after she got hooked up with Barney's ex-wife, Sue, to start drinking again and start smoking weed again. And I used to tell, I said, when I found drugs in the car, I asked our neighbor, that's a nurse, and I asked our neighbor, I said, what is this here? Dude, that's meth. What? Drugs? I don't know nothing about drugs. So I had to ask them because I found this bag between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And she says, I asked her, I called her down in front of them. I said, what the hell is this? Oh, that's not mine. Well, how the hell did it get in the car? Oh, I let one of the employees use the car to go to lunch. I asked you and I told you several times, don't let people drive our cars. They get in an accident, it's our fault. They're not on our insurance. We're the one that lose insurance. We're the one that still got to pay this finance. So then she turns around and she lied to DMV in Minnesota, got my name off the title, which I don't see how the hell that's possible because we're registered still at the finance company as far as I know, even though I'm having problems dealing with them because she changed passwords on everything that we had for so many years, for over 18 years. We've been married 18 years and 5 months. But in January, it took the cake when she tried to kill me intentionally and knowingly, trying to infect me with AIDS when she was supposed to have been charged with attempted murder. And then her and Keith comes up with this conspiracy thing to try to set me up. That's why she wasn't charged with the attempted murder on my life when it's on the books. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now I got to hide out. I got to look for my mail for these charges to come. They got my email address, malillo2005@AOL.com. That's been my email address since AOL first came out. You know? I got to hide out with some nice people that will protect me, but it's hard for me to get an attorney. This is a lousy state. All that about Minnesota nice, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because if you're black, Spanish, you ain't got no rights in the state of Minnesota. If you dating a white girl, you ain't got no rights. You dating a Korean girl, you ain't got no rights. And that's the same thing about this girl, Carrie. I asked, I said, why is it every damn time you tell me you got to drop somebody off or pick somebody up to go to work? That is not your job for these people to be in our car. So if she had to take her to go to the hospital, get some kind of surgery, it's none of my business. And I asked why. Because her mother will go through her things. That's her fucking problem. She got family. That's her family's problem, not ours. But she's trying to run that life where she used to be again. You're 43 years old. That's none of your business what she's going through. Well, she's my sister. She is not your sister. And she's all up in our business. And then I found out, yeah, I can sue all of these fucking people for interfering with my marriage. And I think I will. Because they have no right to open up their mouth. Because I bet you $1,000, not one thing was ever asked. Margaret, what did you do? What did you do, Margaret? When Terry saw the wounds on my body on January 6th, get your ass to the hospital, he told me. You know she has AIDS. I said, yeah, I know. And she tried to intentionally infect me as she was beating my ass, yelling at me. That's what I did. Friends? They ain't no friends. They backstabbers. That's why I use the term associates. That's why I use the term associates. I had a good associate, Papa Crook at Wholesale Tires. I can't go there no more because she goes there. But she violated the restraining order so many times already. And they don't do a fucking thing. But if a man or I violate the restraining order, I go to jail. So that's why I'm hiding out. Nobody knows where I'm at. Nobody. Just me. And I'm not going to jail for nobody. Because you see, I have a right to say what I want to say on the internet, in the newspapers, or anywhere else. But I will not be accused of a crime that I did not commit. I will fight it. I will not let the Faribault Sheriff's Department that strong-arm robbed me on May 7th. And I repeat it again. That strong-arm robbed me on May 7th. If they have never, and don't come up with no bull and some other way to try to curve this to make the sheriffs look good. If they have never took my wallet, my money would have been in my wallet, my credit cards, and my car keys. But like that deputy said to me, it's marital property. That's right. You are not the judge and the jury to give my stuff with my wife there, because that's all she wanted was our car. That's all she wanted was our car. She had no car when she came into marriage, and she should not deserve a car now. Because that's all she wanted was our car. That was it. That was it. And I don't know about divorce judges, but I heard bad things about them. These divorce judges always give a woman what they want, but it's unfair. I lose everything. I lost my insurance because of her. She took me off insurance. I can't pick up my medication. She doesn't want to pay spousal maintenance. This is how you get away from spousal maintenance, is by accusing your husband of abuse. He goes to jail, you pay nothing. This is her whole plan. I need about $1,000 in change. My leg needs to be repaired that she stomped. That costs about $650. My medicine, TV, internet. I have a landline. Need a landline in case something happens to me. So I have no money to pay none of this stuff. And she gets away with not paying a dime on spousal maintenance. It's unfair. Then she goes, I said, well, what about the renter's rebate? Oh, we can't get it because I grossed, in 2019, I grossed $98,800 and something. But now she makes $147,000 a year. And she got a 401k. And she took every dime we had, my disability money, the 1,200 stimulus check, she took that. She took Minnesota taxes, which was $1,515. She took federal state taxes, which was 2 of them, by the way. One was for $2,400, and the other one was for $2,070. She took it all. She took everything. We had pending things out there. So after those pending things went in, $11.43 I had in the bank. Took the title right out of my name, which I don't know how the hell she did that, which that should be against the law because you committed fraud to DMV. You committed fraud to the finance company. And the insurance company is no damn good no more. Because they could tell you, well, yeah, you could take them off the car, but yet the car is in both our names. So how is that possible? There should be laws to protect us men and not just these women. There should be laws to protect us men. Because a woman is the dirtiest, evilest creature on the face of this earth. And I know some people are going to say, well, what about my mother? My mother threw me away like I was trash. That's what my mother did for me. Threw me away like I was trash. But it hurts. I love the hell out of my wife. Still do. But you just can't just wake up and don't love nobody no more. It's impossible. That is impossible. I've been married to this woman for 18 years and 5 months, and this happens to us. Because behind a car, and I bust her, Skyping some guy. First she says he got out of prison. Then she met him online. Then he works for AutoZone. She threw out so many different stories. What are you looking for somebody for? I've asked you numerous times for a divorce. You tell me you didn't want a divorce. You start crying. Then you start trying to kill yourself. Then we got to play this game all the time. Oh, yeah, by the way, I missed something. When the expert told me about when she tried to kill herself, if you're going to try to kill yourself with a knife, you're not going to go across your wrist. You're going to go straight up. All she wants is sympathy. As long as somebody feels sorry for her and is behind her, she uses people. She don't give a damn about them people. If they start charging her, she going to start thinking, damn, I fucked up. My husband was a good man to me. And I was. I was the best thing that ever happened to her. I was there for her 1,000%. I was there for her 1,000%. There's some things I'm not going to say because I want to say it in court. Because I know I'm going to go to jail. I already know that. You see? But I'm going to defend myself. Because they say, yeah, an attorney that defends itself is a fool. No. Fuck you. That's the way I got to say. Because you see, every man that got screwed by a woman should be up there fighting for their rights. Women are the dirtiest, evilest creatures on the face of the earth, especially in Minnesota. I don't trust nobody no more. I never trusted anyway. I knew she was talking to other guys, but I'm not a jealous person. I never was a jealous person. We had threesomes. She talked me into having threesomes with people. Is that a jealous person? No. I'm still trying to locate dude so he could be tested for AIDS. It's cold, man. It's cold. It's cold and it hurts. Because I've never done nothing to hurt my wife. I've never done nothing to hurt her. She left me homeless, moneyless. Social Security office won't do nothing. The law won't do nothing. She got away with attempted murder on my life by intentionally, knowingly trying to infect me with AIDS, which she was supposed to have been charged under Penal Code 66257, I believe it is, in Minnesota. That carries 3 to 8 years, but it carries probation, supervised probation. She was supposed to have been charged. So y'all watch out for her, man. She's going to do it again. It's not the first person she did that to. I'm not the first person my wife did this to. I'm not. When she told me her whole life, it just like blew my mind. She was a prostitute in Minnesota. She ran drugs from Minnesota, a place called Wisconsin. She dated cops. They used to pull her over. And one thing you cannot, listen carefully, fellas. Listen very, very carefully. The old saying is true. The old saying is true. You cannot make a hoe into a housewife. It's impossible. Impossible. It's impossible. If something happened to her, would I run there for her? Yes. Yes, I would run there for my wife. Because that's what love is. That's what true love is. I'll always be there for her. But to an extent. Am I terrified of her? Yes. Upset? Yes. Her and Deputy Keith tried to set me up, and they succeeded on May 7th. They succeeded on May 7th. I never hit my wife. I treated her like a queen. Opened the door for her all the time, pull out a chair for her. I made sure she was well fed. I took good care of my wife. And it hurts how she lied on me, how she deceived me. You are not supposed to show your body to another man, to a friend. That's what she threw in my face when I busted her. He's a friend. He's a friend. You don't show your naked body to another man and you're married. You don't do that. So now she says she's sleeping with other guys that have AIDS. Hell, I hope y'all die quick. Because one thing you taught me is hate. I've never hated no one in my life. But one thing you taught me now is hate. And there should be laws against people like you now. Y'all should be separated from regular society. Period. Because the laws they got in Minnesota are not for the real people. Because they don't give a damn. But if I was a man, and if I would have done what she did to me, I would be in jail with attempted murder, knowingly and intentionally try to infect her with AIDS. I would be in jail, looking at 3 to 8 years and probation for life. I'll be in jail with supervised probation. It shouldn't be like that. The law is there. It should be for women too. They should be filed and charged against too. But no, they try to set me up on a charge that I did not do or commit against my wife. And it's unfair. And if there's any justice, she would be charged. Margaret Me Malillo, Peggy Kniff Malillo, she goes by so many different names. She will be charged. Because all this was, she got busted and it was our car. And the bad part about it, in the divorce, she's going to get the car. She's not going to pay child maintenance. Spouse maintenance. Because that's what she wants. So I lose again in my life. And then and then the courts, listen, judges, then you wonder why us men go the other extreme. Because there's no laws for us. The courts do not protect us men. Us good men. I don't drink. I don't mess with drugs. I never assaulted my wife. Everybody argues. And if you say you don't argue, you're a liar. You're a liar. It don't make no sense for her not to pay me spousal maintenance, because without it, I cannot survive. It's unfair to give her our car. She can have the Nissan, 2006 Nissan, because that's all this was about, a car. So I gotta get tested again, but I don't have nothing no more. I have no money. I have no insurance. She stopped all of that. She registered the car in her name only, which I don't even see how the hell that's possible. She frauded my name at DMV. She committed perjury at DMV in the state of Minnesota. She committed perjury. And I don't want to hear shit about domestic laws, because all it is for y'all women to turn around and take every damn thing y'all want from us men. Because those people that helped her, they need to be shut the hell down. That's what they need to be, shut down. Because just as I read that restraining order, she had other restraining orders in California, almost exactly the same that she showed me. And it's funny how women do this all over the states, and they get away with it. They get away with it. Well, y'all want to hear your thoughts. Capital M, Malillo2005 at AOL.com.